Hi there and welcome back to the channel. Today's video I'm going to show you how to make your own smoke overlays. Whether you want lots of smoke or just a little bit of whisper smoke, I'm going to show you how you can make them at home, edit them to be the perfect smoke overlays for your next project. So it doesn't matter how much gear you've got or how little gear you've got. So I'm currently recording with my video light on, a little mini smoke machine. So this is the little Tellison mini smoke machine, but if you want lots of smoke, you can use a bigger smoke machine. I've also got some handy matches. I've also got just a basic candle, and I've got an incense stick. So I'm going to show you how to use all of these and go through what my setup is, and then I'm going to walk you through how I create the smoke images. So let's jump in. So I've just got some black paper in my background and I have some black cloth. You could use project paper, you could use a tablecloth, sheets, it doesn't matter. So I've got my different elements here that I'm going to play with. The incense stick is really, really good if you want to have like smoke from a cigarette or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I've just lit a match and I'm going to light my incense stick. Just let it smolder for a while. The beauty of using an incense stick, it makes everything smell really nice as well. These might have got a little damp. It doesn't want to burn. There we go. And you can catch that as it moves around. Let's try another one because that one didn't last very long. You can use your match too. So I've now got some great smoke and I'm going to zoom in. These are just soft tendrils of smoke, and you can sort of move it around. These are really, really just soft tendrils. And you could use these as steam from food and things like that as well. Now, as I said before, you don't even need to use an incense stick. You could just use a match. You can also catch some great flame images as well, but if you light a match, look at those cool tendrils of smoke coming off that. Pretty cool. So an incense stick or a match is a really good place to start. How about a candle? Now a candle, again, great flames. So if you want to use the flame to put in with candles in other shoots, this is another great thing to capture, is all your candle shots. But when you blow that out, you can get some fabulous wisps of smoke as well. Okay, so this is the Tellison mini fogger, and I'll put a link to the article I wrote about it. It's a great little fog machine. So I'm just going to go off screen a little bit. And you can record and capture as much smoke as you want. A little or a lot. Wave that out of the way and you can change it so you can make dry ice effects. So this is slightly different. It also has steam. So if you just want a puff of steam for food or a coffee or something like that, that's really good too. So you can set your camera up and you can go through and catch your images. I do suggest shooting perhaps a stop under, just so that your blacks are black and your whites are white. So once you've captured your photos, then what do you do with them? So I've loaded them up into Lightroom, but you could take them into pretty much whatever you want to use. And what I'm going to do, and you can see they're quite dark, so I'm actually going to increase my whites a little bit. I'm going to increase my highlights. I'm going to bring down my blacks. I'm going to convert it to black and white. Now, there's stuff here that I don't want in the image. So I'm going to go to my arrays and I'm going to get rid of that. Get rid of that candle that was in the shot. I also want to make this area over here a little bit darker. So I'm going to go into my masks. I'm going to grab a linear gradient. And I'm just going to bring my shadows, maybe boost the contrast a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty much the first image done. I really don't need all the rest of it, so I could crop that in. And that then becomes my first smoke image. If you want to boost the contrast in that or soften the contrast out, you can do that as well. You can boost your whites, but not too much because you'll lose all the detail. You still want it fairly soft. So this is what we're looking at for our image. We can always boost it in Photoshop. Now for some of the smoke images, I'm going to do pretty much the same. There was a bit up there that is a bit disjointed, so I'm going to get rid of that and the candle. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to do another linear gradient. I'm going to make it a bit darker through here. And I've, of course, made my image black and white. You don't want any colour in this for your smoke. If you want to add coloured smoke, then you're better off doing that in post. So we also had the flame, and you can play around with those. I also had the matchstick as well. So with the flame, you want to have, you don't want to blow out all the detail. I would keep the top of the candle in just so that you've got some reference for your image. You can always delete that later. Now let's see if we can find a good wispy smoke one. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the candle because I don't actually want that in my shot. So I'm just going to subtract that. And I'm going to crop that because I don't need all of that. I'm going to bring my highlights up. I'm going to bring my whites up. And of course, change it to black and white. Okay, so we have now made various different smoke images. And you can come in and you can apply that to all of the ones that you've captured. So you can have, if you're shooting on burst mode, you can capture quite a lot. Here's another one you could make look like some cigarette smoke or something like that. So if we crop this one, and of course we get rid of that candle, bring the highlights up, bring the shadows back. A little bit of noise in this one. I'm just going to add a denoise to it. There we go. So now that we've shot them, edited them, how do we use them? So it's really quite easy to apply these to an image in Photoshop. So let's go have a look. So I've got this recent image that I have with Sky, and we had some flames in the shoot. So this is a really good one to add some smoke to. So I have opened a couple of smoke images into Photoshop. And what I'm going to do is Control A to select all of it and copy. I'm going to come over to my image of Sky and Control V. So it's just copy and paste, pretty simple. The easiest way to work with an overlay like this is to hit screen, because what you are doing is you are knocking out all the blacks. If I was to hit multiply, I would be knocking out all the whites. You can use overlay as the term implies, but it becomes very, very soft. It's quite hard to see it. So what I have found is if you go to screen, and then you can always drop the opacity down if you wish to. You can also add a layer mask. So I'm going to put a layer mask on there, come in with a brush, and I'm going to get rid of where I don't want it, especially the edges. Perhaps I don't even want it on my model. Make sure it's very, very soft brush. And I can do that. Now, if you want to make that darker, you can come in and you can add a levels to that image. Just clip it, bring the blacks in, bring the whites in, and you can play with your levels through there. And you can add multiple. So perhaps that's not the one you want. Perhaps you want to add something a bit more like this one. So again, Control All to select, Control C to copy. Obviously, if you're on a Mac, that's Command. And I'm going to drop that layer in there. And again, I'm going to set that to screen to knock out what I want. If you want to add coloured smoke, and I did say this before, if you clip a hue layer to that smoke image, you can come and play with the colours. You can colorize it. So you can make it whatever colour you want, and you can adjust the saturation and the hue and so forth. So you can change the colour of your smoke from there. But if you don't want that, you can just get rid of it. Now, a really good thing to do is when you've got a collection of smoke images like so, is add them to your library. Now, if you don't have a library set up, go into Windows, go to Libraries, and it will put it here. And what you can do is create a new library, and you've got smoke overlays. So what I can do now, just going to make that page a little bit bigger, is I can grab this image and drag it over. So it's now there. I can now go back in. I can grab this image and drag that over as well. And you can rename them. So you can come in and rename them, you know, like Smoke 1, Smoke 2, etc. Otherwise, they just come over as backgrounds. So then if you close off those images and we come back to our image of sky, I can just grab it from my library. I don't have to go searching for it. And of course, just set that to screen mode and you can move it around, colorize it, do whatever you want to it. Pretty simple. So there you have it. It's pretty easy to create your own smoke images, whether you want lots of smoke or just a little bit of smoke, whether you're using candles, matches, incense sticks, or an actual smoke machine. You can make your own smoke overlays. There's no need to go out and buy them anymore. So you can make as many as you want, as little as you want. It can be a fun little afternoon project. So I hope that's inspired you to perhaps go out and make your own smoke images, and you can use them for any project, especially if you save them in your library. They're always there for you to use them whenever you need. So that's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful, and don't forget to drop any comments that you got down below. Give us a thumbs up because it really does help the channel, especially if you consider subscribing. And I will see you next time on YouTube. Bye.